Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste, assalamu alaikum, and good evening, good night, or good morning to all of you. We are so pleased to have people in this meeting from all parts of the world in different time zones. I am Shakira Mohammed of Trinidad and Tobago, a teacher for the past 17 years. And we wish to join some of our neighbors in observance of their national holidays. So tomorrow, May 5th, Guyana has their Indian Arrival Day, and St. Lucia and Martinique on May 6th, and Jamaica on May 10th, when the first batch of Indian indentured laborers went to those countries. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the 258th edition of our ICC Thought Leaders Forum, and we wish to sincerely thank all of you who have contributed in whatever way to the success of this ongoing Pan-Indo-Caribbean and Pan-Indian Diaspora Global Project. For 257 unbroken continuous weeks, we have been here every single Sunday, and in the past 4 years, 11 months, and 3 weeks, we have featured 1,258 presenters from all parts of the world speaking on 257 topics. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a weekly forum being hosted by the Indo-Caribbean Cultural Center, legally registered research and publishing company operating since 2010. And today we are pleased to be partly supported by the Sport and Culture Fund in the Office of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And let me take this opportunity to congratulate our new Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and her new government during this Indian History and Heritage Month of May. In order to continue this weekly program and to make it bigger and better, we are asking for suggestions and volunteers. If you give a donation, your name will be placed on our poster and all promotional materials, and you can contact Dr. Kumar Mahabir for details. Please also note that we are planning for a conference in and tour of South Africa from August 2nd to 14th of this year, 2025. And if you're interested in participating, please let us know. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll introduce our moderator today, who is Shalama Mohammed, the co-director of this ICC Zoom platform, who is a business teacher and researcher from Trinidad and Tobago. She obtained her master's degree in business psychology from Franklin University in the USA. Shalama, welcome.
Thank you so much, Shakir. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and a warm welcome to all of you. Thanks so much for choosing to be here with us. This program is being recorded on Zoom and live streamed on the YouTube channel of the Indo-Caribbean Cultural Center. So I want to welcome all of you all on YouTube at this time. To avoid intrusions from trolls, our IT manager has muted everyone. Speakers, please do not admit anyone, do not unmute anyone, and do not allow anyone to share your screen. Thanks so much for cooperating. Today, our program is entitled Intergenerational Families and Culture in the Indian Diaspora. In this program, we will explore how Indian diaspora families have maintained, adapted, and transformed their cultural identities over the course of perhaps 3 or 4 generations in song and music. We will discuss the ways family traditions, values, and social practices have evolved across time and space, while also examining the challenges and opportunities that come with living between cultures. We hope to delve into how Indian diaspora families navigate the delicate balance between preserving ancestral traditions and embracing new cultural trends. From the joint family systems of the past to contemporary family dynamics, we will highlight the resilience and adaptability of these communities as they forge identities that honor their heritage while engaging with their current environments in song and music. Let's begin today with our first speaker from South Africa. Carolyn Govinda is a 3rd-generation musician from a lineage of passionate, self-taught artists connected to South Africa's NSK Melodies, Ranjane Orchestra, Star Orchestra, and Anbu Entertainers. Welcome, Carolyn.
Thank you. Welcome. And it is really, truly a pleasure being a part of this amazing topic and something that I feel it's so important to share with people. And just to be honest with to just tell you that a part of this whole experience of me collecting data and images from family, I've gotten to know new insights about this whole lineage, which I'm still digesting. So So I'm looking forward to presenting. And can I share my screen now? Okay. Yes. Okay, so South African Indian musical and cultural journey stemming from South Africa. I must say it's a privilege and a responsibility just to be here on this platform, not just as an artist, but as a vessel of memory, culture, and creative resilience. I am Kirolan Govender, a South African-born artist and an Indian classical musician, and my life's work is rooted in the legacy of those who came before me, people who carried instruments and stories in their souls, even in history, when history tried to silence them. Over 160 years ago, our ancestors arrived in South Africa, not as free settlers, but as indentured laborers. What they brought with them was not just physical labor, but language, prayer, rhythm, and a deep spiritual relationship with the arts. And in the generations that followed, particularly during the apartheid era, when identity and dignity were systematically stripped away, music became a resistance. It became a shield, a mirror, a way to remember who we were and to share that memory with each other. Under the apartheid, people of Indian descent were isolated geographically, economically, and culturally. There was no access to formal training, conservatories, or mentorship in the arts. And yet, our communities refused to let culture die. My maternal family's legacy is one such story. In 1955, my grandfather's brother founded a family band called the NSK Melodies, named after the South Indian film legend N.S. Krishnan. This ensemble, alongside with other iconic groups like the Ranjini Orchestra, Star Orchestra, and Anbu Entertainers, played a vital role in keeping our culture alive. As you can see in this image, there's an arrow pointing to my maternal grandfather, who is playing the double bass. Back in the day, this is a fully acoustic band. They would play, as you can see, the violin, the accordion, trumpet, and this is a group of my grandfather and his brothers and his uncles as well. These were self-taught musicians. They learned not from textbooks or gurus, but from Indian films. They watched local cinemas, from radio broadcasts and from cassettes passed hand to hand. They listened intently, pausing, rewinding, copying melodies by ear. Often they wrote their own music arrangements, composed their own lyrics, and crafted original music that with what little knowledge and resources they had. They made something powerful out of what apartheid tried to erase. Now, while my parents, okay, as you can see, this is a picture of some of the family members and all the band members that were part of this NSK Melodies seen in this picture. This is them in a typical musical production. I think this brings back memories for many people who know of their parents or grandparents that were part of musical bands in their respective countries. And as you can see here, the musical lineage, we have the first generation, which is my grandfather's uncles, the second generation, and then you have the third generation, which is more like my uncles and aunts, my parents, and then fourth generation, which is myself. But while my parents' generation were not performers themselves, they carried the cultural torch forward in an equally powerful way. They made it their priority that my sister and I were immersed in the classical arts through music and dance. They recognized the value of the traditions handed down to them. And though they sacrificed discipline and unwavering support, they ensured that we would have access to training and opportunities that they never had. They were the bridge between preservation and progress. As you can see, these are some of the bands that branch out of NSK Melodies. These are other family members that branched out into Ranjini Orchestra, Ambu Entertainers, and other bands. Now, as a fifth generation, I continue this legacy trained in Carnatic music under my guru, Magendran Balakistan, who's seen here on the left-hand corner, and furthered my studies at the Subramaniam Academy of Performing Arts in Bangalore, India. But the foundation of my artistry was laid in South Africa, at my home, in memory and in community. Through my platform, Jivan Mukta, Jivan Mukta means liberated while living, I honor these roots while expanding them in my work. My work of Indo-African music collaborations seek to build bridges between cultures that have long lived side by side, yet often have been divided by history. By blending Indian classical traditions with African rhythms and Zulu harmonies, especially poetry, I aim to reflect what South Africa truly is: a tapestry of stories, sound, and the spirit. My performances at global stages like the Mahakumbh Mela and the Virisat Festival held in India, Indo-African showcases at the BRICS Summit, are testaments to the power of cross-cultural healing. But I never forget where it all began: in my family lounges or old cassette players, in borrowed instruments, in the echo of ancestors who sang not for applause, but to remember who they were. To the next generation, you are the continuation of the story. Never underestimate the power of your voice, your art, your story. Let us preserve and let us create and let us remember that through music, we can rediscover our true selves. Thank you.
We're barely hearing. I think better it's
Okay,
Darren play
yes.
play the video.
Yes.
Darren.
Doctor, can you share the audio, the video from your
Yes,
side?
our
Thank
IT
you.
manager Daryl has it. He will share it now.
Thank you.
Is it coming up, Daryl?
That's not.
Yeah. The volume is a little low. I think there are other pieces too, Daryl. Yeah, there are about 5 clips.
Lives in each and every being. You are this love. Stand together against injustice, violence, abuse, and crime. Stand together as a nation, proud and grateful for the love that exists. கடலும் உருகும் தாயே உன் கண்ணில் வரியும் ஒரு தோலை போதும் கடலும் உருகும் தாயே உன் காலடி மாட்டும் தருவாய் தாயே சொர்க்கம். हमको मिले है आज है घड़ियाल से लग जा गले गिर पे हंसी रात हो न हो शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात न हो लग जा गले कि फिर हंसी रात हो न हो शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात न हो लग जा गले से
Thank you very much.
Carolyn, is that it? Any more?
In the limited time. That's all.
That's all for today.
Oh, you just did my favorite at the end. One of them anyway. I love that. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
That was
Maybe I'll
really
sing a
fun.
line of the song, the last song for you.
Do that. Thank you.
पहला नशा पहला खुमार नए प्यार है नए इंतजार कर लूं मैं क्या अपना हाल मेरी दिल बेकरार मेरी दिल बेकरार तू ही बता हो पहला नशा पहला कुमार.
Lovely.
Thank
Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I am very impressed with the work that you do. And for the upcoming tour in South Africa, Kogi, please let's have a discussion with Carolyn to see whether or not we can have a cultural evening in which he will be a part of it. So Kogi is the main organizer on the ground, and I'm sure she'll be in touch with you.
Well, thank you so much for that,
Wonderful.
Shamila.
So we have a number of comments, but I just want to invite those of you who would like to speak to Carolyn, just for about 5 seconds. If you have a question or a comment that you would like to bring to him, you can feel free to do so. I see Ranbir has his hand up. Go ahead, Ranbir.
Caroline, great stuff. I'm sure we'll all agree with that. So what I ask Caroline is this. I saw you sing very well. You explained how you done all that stuff. You're singing first clip with African Lady from people I knew from South Africa, like Bengal South Zulu. They said that the more the influence film-wise was from Western films. I knew from Gambia and Ghana, Senegal, who actually watched Indian films. So even during the apartheid boycott, was there still influence of Indian cinema, both on the Indian community and wider, or was it really kind of, because of the boycott and because Western culture was more promoted, was it looked down upon and kind of shunned to the margins?
Because I obviously wasn't born at that time, but from what I've heard from generations, that a lot of these cultural activities, especially if they were progressive movements, were obviously done secretively or in spaces where it wasn't publicly showcased or so on. And these communities, they really stuck close together. And this is when it comes to also putting events together, cultural events, making sure that festivals and prayers in the Christian, Muslim, and Hindu communities were celebrated and kind of nurtured. So yes, I would say, but what I heard was that my grandfather's brother, who is was the founder of the NSK Melodies, he would go and watch these films, and because they didn't have recording devices, he would remember the songs and the melodies. He'd come back home, and he would actually go to his accordion, try and remember the keys, and write the music down and teach it to the band. Imagine what struggle it was at that time, not having the access to just go onto YouTube, listen to an audio, and then just play the same audio for band members. So the music at that time, the discipline was, I'm sure, amazing. The type of discipline that they had in order to cultivate the music and share it with the people so that they could at least, if they didn't afford to go and watch the film, they can get to listen to it with local bands. So I hope that this kind of answers the question.
Terrific. Thank you very much. Jay, you had a question? Can you unmute your mic, please?
Okay, thank you. I'm second generation. Carolyn,
Yes,
do you remember Madhavan?
yes. Naya,
Yeah, and Ranjini Orchestra.
yes. So I do. I
Yeah,
do know that Uncle
and I
Madhavan.
am Billy Naya's brother.
Oh wow, that's
So
amazing.
I've got two generations or three generations before you.
Oh
Now,
wow.
to answer some of your questions, the Indian orchestras, Ranjani, your father, your grandfathers, and others, Majestic, they used to go to play in weddings.
Hmm.
And that is how we were corralled into townships. And in the townships, which is Chatsworth and Isipingo, Clarewood, because most of the bands came out of Clarewood. Are
Yes.
you originally from Clarewood?
No, actually from Merebank.
Merebank. Well, not
Yeah.
very far, not very
Yes.
far. Merebank is after Clarewood. Clarewood was the hub of the Tamil community. So you brought in the African diaspora to us. And I am proud that this is my comment, that you have brought what we fought for to live and work together and the sense of Ubuntu.
Yeah.
So I put
Thank you.
that comment down, and that's my thank you for bringing this forward. Now, this is what you should give to the communities of South Africa. Even ask Cyril Ramaphosa, to feature you to bring the communities together. That is what we want. That is what we fought for. So
Definitely.
you might see me in Durban in August, but
I would love
it's
to.
a
Yes.
plus. Hopefully, I meet you. And
Yes.
I am Madhavan's brother-in-law.
Oh, thank you. It's such. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. You know, I didn't mention this, but there was an unrest that took place a couple of years ago in Durban, right?
Yeah,
Between Indian community and the African community. At that time, I was working closely with Zawadi Amungu, the girl that you saw on the videos.
right.
And we went out into KwaMashu to host musical events that bridge this gap between the Indian communities and the African community. BBC News featured us because we sang at the BRIC Summit, but the main aim was to remind the communities that we've coexisted for so many years.
Right.
And no matter what the political spectrum might be, we must remember it is love that binds each and every community.
Right.
And the reason why I've chosen to sing Indo-African music and other cultures as well is because it's one way that we can sustain the language, the Indian language, and share the knowledge and the knowledge systems with other communities, and to also learn their own languages. This is how we expand the spectrum of language and culture, not only to the Indian diaspora, but
Right.
people throughout the world, so that they can listen to music. Not
Wonderful. Jay, thank you very much for that question. Carolyn, as you raised that topic, we have a question from, I believe it's Rajan Baldev. He's
Okay.
asking, are there also local South African Indian songs available?
Local South African Indian songs.
Correct. Who's writing Indian songs from South Africa? Who's singing
Yes.
Indian songs in South Africa?
Yes, we do. It's not as popular as it should be, but we do have local lyricists that are celebrated in this country, and there's some songs that have gone really viral. And I think there's a singer by the name of Vela Kiston who sings a famous song Padugiren. I'm not too sure if it's reached the other countries, but we need, I think, more and more of our musicians to start sharing their own music and telling their own stories. Because, I mean, in every country, each and every country, I mean, the other presenters today, they have a rich history. I mean, we might not know our language because, I mean, my generation, we don't speak our mother tongue, which is Tamil. And that's because there's this disconnect between India and South Africa. But there's this yearning to know, what is it? Where have I come from? Where am I going to? And how can I celebrate my unique identity as being a South African of Indian descent?
Wonderful. Excellent way to end your comment there. I really appreciate that. And what I want to do is I want to find out from our next speaker and those to come whether or not they feel the same way. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and God bless.
You too. And our second speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is from here in Trinidad and Tobago. This is Devani Devi. She follows in the footsteps of her ancestors, but with her own creative twist. The gift of her Ramayan singing remains unifying, and her poetry and bhajans offer comfort and support to her family and community. So let's hear from Devani. Welcome.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
And good afternoon. It is indeed a pleasure to be a part of this Indo-Caribbean Cultural Center Thought Leaders Forum as we share insights into our culture and its impact on the legacies of family. My name is Devani Devi Ramlakan Bohal. Yes, it's kind of long. And it's such a pleasure to meet you all. So culture, religion, and spirituality was a major part of the lives of my family for generations. And today, this dwells very strongly within me. My biggest passion is my spiritual expression. And I believe it is fertilized by my strong Indian heritage and religion, as I passionately enjoy composing bhajans and inspirational poetry. It was an absolute pleasure to reflect on the lives of my Aja, my Pitaji, and even on my own life as I prepared this presentation. So I'm happy to share with you Ramayan offered by the Ramlakan generation. I'm going to share my PowerPoint. Okay, I think I have to go to screens. There we go.
Okay, we're seeing it coming up. There we go. Yes.
Okay. So this is actually a picture of my dad's Ramayan. It's treasured in my home still. So the Ramayan was one of the most popular texts brought to Trinidad from India during the indentureship period. And together with the Hanuman Chalisa, the golden verses of the Ramayan fueled the travelers across the Kalapani with faith and strength to face many challenges they encountered. Trinidad is actually dubbed Ramayan country, and its recitation is quite vivid today. This is my Aja, my paternal grandfather, and together with the sons of indentureship, he would gather in communities and villages and would recite Ramayan for many hours. And this was done in what was called sadha style. And that means music was not incorporated in their mode of recitation. And this gathering took place after long days of toiling in the sugarcane fields. And it was more than a social gathering, as it gave spiritual and emotional support and strength to its participants and active listeners. At that post-indentureship period, the Indian descendants may not have had that much, but they had each other and they had Ramayan. So this is my Aja, as I was saying, Jaglal Ramlakan Ji. who passed away in the year 1997. And even though I was only 7 years old that time, I remember all the kahanis he would have shared with me as I would have sucked my thumb and play with his earlobe. Those were some very fond memories, and I really, it's as though I really remember his feel, his touch, everything. So God bless his soul, wherever it may be. So in this picture, this is a picture of my deceased Pitaji, my father, Brijraj Ramlakan. I'm not sure if you all can see the pointer. That's him there. And he was conducting a birthday satsang, a birthday Ramayan satsang. And he typically engaged in conducting Ramayan satsangs for birthday celebrations, regular Thursday night satsang at the village mandir, and especially when someone passed away in the community. So it was believed that the praises of Ramayan would send positive vibrations to the deceased, and it would give comfort to those grieving family members. In this picture, you can see the musicians who would have given him musical accompaniment to the singing of Ramayan, Duhas, and Chaupais. So my father, he would incorporate musical tunes from Indian film songs. And one of his favorites was the tune of the song Sau Saal Pehle from 1961 movie Jab Pyar Kisi Se Hota Hai. And he did this to make the satsang more relatable and enjoyable. Unfortunately, I do not have a video clip of his singing, but I will attempt to replicate a Ramayan Chaupai in the style that he employed. So feel free to join in. Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Raghukul Riti Sada chal aaye, sada chal aaye, pran chai, baru vachan na chai. Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. According to Ayodhya Kand in the Ramayan, the sons of the Raghus would rather break his soul, but not his word. The deep teachings and philosophy that my father would have shared from the holy pages of the Ramayan is what mattered most to me. Thus, I felt compelled to write a bhajan based on one of my favorite Ramayan Chaupais, as it hinges on love. I would like to share this with you at this point. So I believe we have, okay, let me share. I'm going to go to advance.
If you're having any technical issues, Daryl can assist.
Sure. Video file.
You want to switch screen?
Oh my gosh. Can I have some assistance? For some reason, I'm not seeing the video here.
Okay, Daryl, which one are you looking for, Devani?
I only sent one to him, so he probably would.
Okay. Daryl?
Yes, Daryl should have it.
Okay, there we go. Coming up.
God is present everywhere, but He is only revealed through love. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram ne mujhe pyar khulasa kiya, khulasa kiya, Ram ne mujhe जब मेरे राम का हो, जब मैंने राम का, जब मेरे राम का नाम जब शुरू किया, तो उन्होंने मुझे अपना, तो उन्होंने मुझे अपना प्रेम प्रकट किया। हरे राम, राम राम, हरे राम, राम राम, राम ने मुझे प्यार खुलासा किया, खुलासा किया, राम ने मुझे खुलासा, 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 खुलासा। राम जप के प्रति, राम जप के प्रति, राम जप के प्रति मेरे प्रेम दे, मुझे प्रेम का साधन, मुझे प्रेम का साधन बने उत्सुक दिया। हरे राम, राम राम, हरे राम, राम राम, राम ने मुझे प्यार खुलासा किया, खुलासा किया, राम ने मुझे प्यार, राम ने मुझे प्यार, राम ने मुझे प्यार।
Lovely, Devani. Absolutely beautiful. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I have a little piece again, I believe.
Sure.
So I just wanted to share that that was one of the bhajans that I composed last year, and it was in memory of my dad. So you would have seen like a picture of him and the his Ramayan book in that video. And I do have a fair command of Hindi, having studied Hindi as a little girl, but I was not very confident in constructing sentences and being very confident with respect to grammatical construction. But during COVID, I believe I had some more time on my hands. I started actually researching the meaning of a Saraswati bhajan that I would normally sing, and I started to play around with the Google translating apps, and I was like, hey, this is my opportunity to convert my poetry, which I do write, into Hindi. So I was able to then elevate my poetry to Hindi, and then I wrote my very first bhajan in 2021. So I'm very new to this. All right. So that bhajan in 2021 was Hara Hara Mahadeva Shambhu. I am a Shiva devotee, and my natural musical inclination incorporated unique tunes and rhythms, and that is how my journey really began. And I view this as a part of my spiritual learning and expression. And I try to make my videos true to my path of devotion. And I wish for those who imbibe it to feel that as well. So that is why I include English subtitles, because some of my friends who are not Hindus and they really do not know much about Hindi, they want to get a better feel of my bhajan. So that's why I decided to put the subtitles in them. So so even though the methods of expounding from the Ramayan has changed by the Ramlakan family over the years, its essence remains the same. And that remains untouched and very much alive and valued. So last year I did write this poem, and I would like to share it with you guys, with everyone. And it's entitled Ramayan Country. I am proud to be born in Ramayan country. You may not find it on a map, but you can feel it in our identity. To us, the epic text was more than just a kahani. It brought us together and weaved a resilient community. Ramayan served as a source of strength. In that time of struggle, our ancestors underwent. Binu satasanga vivekana hui. With faith they sang, my Nana and Nani. In every corridor of life, it is an able guide. Wrapped in red cloth, I hold it with pride. May we always seek this blessing in all its glory, and may there be long life to our Ramayan country. Thank you very much, everyone.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Devani, do you know why the book was wrapped in red?
I think it's sacred. So all of our texts, the Bhagavad Gita and the Ramayan, you always see it wrapped in a cloth. And I think that's because it's revered. It's a special text. So I think that is why, in my interpretation, I'm not sure if there's another reason, but I believe it's revered. So it needs to be protected and presented in that way. It's not just an ordinary text. That's my understanding.
I know colors have special meanings, and there are days of the week in which special colors are recommended based on the deity and so on. So red is generally for Sundays. So I just wonder if you have your Ramayan in red, wrapped in red, is it that you should really read it only on Sundays? And I mean, Sunday is Monday day, not so?
Well,
most people attend on Sundays.
I believe Sunday is like a regular day because of convenience. But from my remembrance, when I was a little girl, my dad always conducted Ramayan satsang on a Thursday at the community mandir. So I believe that you can read your Ramayan anytime.
Yeah, you should be able to. I agree. But we have special days for different things based on work. That thing called work that destroyed a lot of our culture and so on. At this point in time, I want to invite questions from members of the audience. You have quite a number of compliments coming your way. And if you refer to the chat, you'll see that. But I just want to share what was said on YouTube. So Mr. Bobby Piramal from South Africa, he's on YouTube. He says, beautiful rendition of music and songs. We have a comment here from someone who goes by the name of Raveen. He says, Indian culture is dying a slow death in the diaspora countries. Nobody speaks Hindi or Bhojpuri anymore. Only Fijians and the Surinamese speak Awadhi fluently. Language is an important part of culture. Would you like to comment on that, Devon?
I beg to differ because I believe well, I can speak for here in Trinidad. I think more than ever, Indian culture and Hinduism is on the rise. And I think it's because of education, and we have access to, the global village. And I have never seen so many children involved in, mandirs and activities, and they want to take part in playing instruments, things like that. I believe it's very much alive in Trinidad.
Yeah, indeed. I'm just looking, I agree with you to a great extent. And I'm just looking again to see whether there's any particular comment or a question, because I'm not seeing any hands up. Members of the audience, if you'd like to ask a question, feel free to raise your hand. It's in the electronic button, sorry, the reactions button at the base of your screen. So Devani, who is it in your family who sings or plays instruments now?
Well, at this point, well, my dad is also deceased. My son, he plays tabla. I do play the harmonium as well. I'm not an expert, but I do use it.
Mm-hmm.
My sister and her children, they are also involved in music.
So you all get together sometimes like a family band?
Well, we live in different countries, and I'm actually the only child that lives here in Trinidad.
Yeah.
The others live abroad, New York. So we do not get to spend that time in devotion and singing. But when I was growing up, every Thursday, my dad would do what you call like a Thursday sadhana, like, a hawan. And all of us would take part in that satsang. My brother would play the drum, the dolak, and my sisters and I would sing, and we had the dantal and the majura. So I grew up like that,
How would the neighbors react?
I have never gotten any resistance from my neighbors saying, oh, you make noise. Even today, I am very, very vocal. My son is also very, very vocal, very loud. Because we are proud, we are open, we are free here in Trinidad. We can practice our religion without fear. And I've never gotten any complaints so far.
Nice to know that. Okay, Devani, it's been a pleasure having you on the program, and I hope that you continue to spread your poetry in the lovely way that you are choosing to do so. Absolutely lovely. Thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, that was Devani Devi from Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to welcome our third speaker now, who is also from Trinidad and Tobago, and this is Anne-Marie Chedi. Her maternal grandmother, her nanny, passed down the art of singing Bhojpuri folk songs across 4 generations. Her father sang film songs by Muhammad Rafi, Manna Dey, and Mehdi Hassan. She sings Hindi songs in the Presbyterian Church in Trinidad. Welcome, Anne-Marie.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm thoroughly enjoying. I enjoy Devani and Govinder. Really special, really, really gifted, I must say, people. Yeah. And the culture is not dying.
Culture is not dying. But let's talk a little bit about this question that Raveen raised. Do you think the language is important to retain?
Yes, I think so, for legacy purposes and for the perpetuation of the language, the literature, religion, and so on. But times change a lot, and we definitely need to accept the change. But at the same time, for example, not everybody will know the Hindi or the Sanskrit, and we have to also interpret it in English so the younger generation knows it. Now, a certain percentage, like myself, when I was young, will have the passion to go ahead and learn the Hindi, learn the classical music, and pass it on. And that is what has been happening in my family. There's change in the music, yes, with time, but the depth of it is passed on to the younger people, and they in their way, and they really in their way, they're carrying on. A lot of young people are doing it, and I'm really very proud to see what is happening.
So who taught you? Who taught you the language and singing and so on?
So I grew up in a family of music. Music was like eat, sleep, everything in my family. From my nanny to my grandmother, my father, my mother, and then myself, my brother, and now my nephew, So it's really 5 generations. But as I said, certain things change over time, But the purpose is still there.
Like Carolyn said, did you learn through listening?
At first, when the films came in, when I was a little girl, films came in. And so there was a sort of a divergence from folk singing that my nanny brought to film singing, because, those wonderful film songs that came were very catchy, the popular ones. So my father used to sing them, and we have seen in our house from gramophone and vinyl 78 to LPs and 45s, then reel to reel, then the big cassette you play in the car, then the normal size one we know, and the minis, and then we progressed. Well, they had passed away by then, and then we progressed to CDs. Now CDs are on its way out, and it's now with the social media, so things change.
Yeah. And we need to change with the times.
Yes, but at the same time, hold on to our culture.
Correct.
I strongly believe that, yes.
Where's the gramophone? Where's the stereo? Where are the LPs and so on that you had? Where are those now?
Somewhere in storage. Somewhere, because we don't have the media anymore to play them.
Since Windsor closed down, there's no needle for the stereo sets and all that sort of thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I was the one who used to jump on the table and crank it up for my father.
Yeah. We suffered from that as well.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the impact of that music on family life. Did it contribute to the economics in your family, or did it simply contribute towards spirituality as well as unity?
Economically, it did. There was nothing. It wasn't looked at. It was done because of the passion and passing it on from one generation to another. We never thought of money, except when my father sang, he won almost all the competitions. Well, he used to bring home a little something, but that was not the reason for entering. It is the passion for it, Yes. Even today, I don't make money out of my music. Instead of music, we put money into the music to ensure that it continues. Yes.
So what are some of the competitions that your father entered into and won?
Well, I was a little girl then, but I remembered clearly. You know, in those days there used to be competitions. I mean, he was a wonderful singer. Really, it's a pity that in those days he didn't have the portable devices to record them. You know, the same with my mother. And so in those days, about the 60s, early 70s, there used to be regular competition in the cinemas. You know, and these guys, the ladies weren't in the scene as yet. They weren't entering competition and so on. And in the cinemas, they used to have these competitions. And my dad, you know, yes.
He participated and
Oh,
was
yes.
lots of
Mhm.
time.
Most of the time. Yes,
Yeah.
he was gifted. Yes. With DNA, you know, it's in the DNA,
Yeah.
so to speak.
So do we have any music of yours?
Yes.
Yes,
And I have
Daryl
a
will play.
presentation also. I have a presentation also, Kumaraji. Yes.
Terrific. So can we have that, please, Daryl?
Sure.
Let's get the music first and then the presentation.
So I will present, yeah?
Yeah, but hold on. Let's play the music first. Okay, all right, go ahead with the presentation.
All right. So we'll go back to the top. I want to start with my Nani now. Kumarji?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So I have it as first generation, and it's very interesting, and I'm very proud of this. Is this is my nanny. She's 90-something years old. I don't know how they took pictures in those days, but this is a very precious piece of something I have, you know. And there she is. She came on this last ship as a young lady. I remembered her in her gangri silver bracelets or bearers on her both hands and feet. You can see from her countenance there, she was very positive. And she brought the folk songs, you know. And as a child, I used to look at her and be amazed. And so she passed it on. She had 4 daughters, and she passed it on to her 4 daughters. You see then the second picture, second generation. This is my grandmother, my father's mother. I don't have pictures of the other 3 siblings. And they got together with my nanny when they were young, and she passed on, and they used to be performing vigorously through the community, through the family, through births and weddings. I remember them beating the dolak, walking with two dolaks in case one conk out, whatever. The karatal, majira. I joined in later on with bottle and spoon with the celebrations. You know, it used to be a fun thing, especially for the ladies. You know, they used to shut the men out. And at Chatti and Barahi, but the ladies used to have fun. And they were really wonderful singers. Yeah. So my father from my grandmother, my father is here, and my mother. So this is my father, who did not take up did not carry on the folk singing, because the films came in, and he fell in love with the film singing and the availability of the 78 vinyls with Mehdi Hassan, Manade, and so on. And so he began to learn those songs, you know. And there's my mom. She sings English and Indian. There she is going to the Susumacha Presbyterian Church, where she was a soloist and also a part of the Susumacha Presbyterian Church choir in San Fernando. Yeah, so, you know, I had the experience from both ways. She was a world-class singer in the genres of Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, a range that really, really is unmatchable. So that's my mom and my dad. So as I said, it's like a virus, it's like it's DNA. That passion grew in me and my brother. Yeah. And we sang mainly film songs at that point in time. Yeah. As I grew up and joined orchestras, there are some performances there. So it was very active in those days, with orchestra singing, stage performances, tours with the orchestras, Naya Zamana, Naya Akash, Venus, those orchestras. We did lots of tours. The Ramprasad brothers from Sandy Grande. We did lots of tours in the States, Canada. I did tours in England, India. I did tours in Jamaica, Grenada, and of course in Trinidad, length and breadth of Trinidad. Yes, it was a very full and active career, and it's a journey. But then I realized I was just copying or miming, at a point in time reached when I said, I have to know, study, learn the Hindi and the classical music because I wanted to take things further. So I went to BVS, Bharatiya Vidya Sansthan. And during that time, Kumar, we met in UE. Remember the times in UE? You and I were members of SPIC.
Yes.
And yeah. Those were really times when we were vehement and our culture, passing on our culture. And we stood our ground with all the wonderful Diwali programs and so on. So I went to BVS, Bharatiya Vidya Sansthan, under Professor Adesh. And there I learned Hindi and classical music under his guidance and the teachers there also. Further on, I also was with Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Relations for about 17 years, doing the same thing, learning classical music and Hindi, vocals. And one of my main gurus, as you see in the picture there, but this was done in India but he was here and he understood my journey, what was I was all about. And so he chose to fine-tune, he chose to fine-tune what I was doing. Because I had taken my compositions to him and he was really impressed. I write a lot of poetry also and lots of compositions. Whenever I do the rags, I compose. And he was very impressed. And he said, you have more songs? Bring them, let me see. And I took them, I sang them. And he said, Anne-Marie, you got a melodic gift. Let's take this further. And as though he was God sent. His name is Ramayan. And so he took my career further. And when he left, he was at Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Cultural Relations. And when he left, he said he will make arrangements for me to record my songs. I had a wide repertoire of compositions. Yeah, here is where I'm composing. I'm all over my house. Up to this day, I have these chits of paper where I write. Whether it's a romantic piece, whether it's a philosophical piece, or a devotional piece, whatever comes to my mind, I just write. And then this is a layout. I will lay them on the table. And then sometimes I will get 2 songs. I will put them together now, romantic, religious, patriotic. And then from this, it will condense to maybe 2 songs, 3 songs. Most of the times I have a tune in mind depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing romantic, if I'm doing patriotic and desi, if I'm doing bhajan, I will so continue. It takes time, as Divani will know, it takes time. I will apply the rag, I will apply my version, and yeah, so it was completed. So when I took it to my guru, and he told me when he was leaving that he will make arrangements for me to come to India and record all my CDs in the different genres. And that this is we will see there. He made really great arrangements with the big house T Series, their studios. It's a really wonderful experience. And I recorded CDs. There I am recording some of them. This is my brother and I recording here in Trinidad, where we did some duets. Some of the these are the CDs. These are 4 out of the 6 I've done so far. These are my compositions. Sorry, this one is the Devi Devata is my first compilation of bhajans, compositions. The second was Hamar Rang De Sabha, which you see there is Desi songs in Bhojpuri and Hindi. I had started a Bhojpuri Institute, but it was discontinued because I had to focus on my music composition and recording and so on. And, I was always thrilled with Meera and her story and her bhajans. And along with that, I was also studying Tagore and his Gitanjali, wonderful, beautiful piece of work by Tagore, the Gitanjali, his poetry and the philosophy. And so I had to do the Meera bhajans. So the words are hers, but I put those to rags, some of her bhajans to the rags, and I did that. Then there was a further purpose, and that is where I had a mission, the purpose to revive the Presbyterian bhajans. The Presbyterian bhajans were almost lost. We were losing them gradually as the older people were dying out. And so my husband and I in 2016 decided to research it. And we combed the country, link after link, seeking out the older people, the older Presbyterian people, from whom I will get the bhajans. Now, because of oral tradition then, by the way, I was very grateful for it, and they gave it lovingly. Even when I offered them compensation, they never took at all. They gave it to me, and they were very happy that it was being revived. And the old people, because of oral tradition, a lot of work had to go into these bhajans. I have 3 volumes. This is the first one to celebrate 150 years. And then 2 years after, the second volume was done. But by then, the CDs were going out, and I had to just do it on, right now it's on WhatsApp. I'm still working behind creating and doing this. So you find that I was more into recording and working on songs that I really did not have much time in promoting. I didn't really care to promote that much as yet, as to creating and laying down these works. And so I had a lot of work to do from the oral tradition, from the original, to bring it up to standard. Lots of correction to the Hindi and the sur, the melodies. That I did. As I said, it's a lot of work. And then I went to India. My Guruji made it possible for me to come and record these bhajans. And as I continue researching and researching, more people were coming forward. And I was traveling just to find everybody who I can find, taking links, and it as though God had a trail set for me. So I did the second one, and that's on my WhatsApp right now, and I'm sharing it with everybody. I haven't really put all, next year I will put all on onto YouTube. Right now, I have prepared volume 3, and I'm leaving next month to record volume 3 of the Presbyterian bhajans. And the Presbyterian Church, you know, that is their legacy. That is how they were converted. That is how Presbyterianism came about. And so they are very grateful. They are very, very grateful. I gifted them. I produced the CDs. I went to India, paid the musicians, studio, everything. And I gifted it to the church. This is my gift in memory of my mother. I gifted the church these 3 volumes of Presbyterian bhajans, and they're very beautiful. So I'll play one now for you. This is when I launched.
Thanks
Yes, go ahead.
be to God for His word. Miss Anne-Marie Chady, an extremely accomplished classical singer and composer who has trained in India for several years, blesses us with her voice today. In celebration of our 150th anniversary, she produced a CD of bhajans, which are available at our sinner's office.
Jesus Christ is saying to his disciples, "Go out to every part of the world and spread the message of love. Jao, jao. Jao, 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 jao. Hey, mere chelo karo prem prachar. Jao, jao. Hey, mere chelo karo prem prachar. शहर जितने हैं दुनिया में, गाँव बस्ती शहर बशहर जितने हैं दुनिया में, जंगल पर्वत नदी उनाले जाओ सबके पार, जाओ जाओ हे मेरे चेलों करो प्रेम प्रचार। करना कभी न डर
you hear me?
Quite beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
The music, as I said, was done in India by professional musicians, and I preferred the acoustic instruments, basuri, and all these sarod, sarangi, violin, throughout the different bhajans, Presbyterian bhajans. You will hear. I used a lot of these. These musicians were like what they call them, apsaras. They were celestial. They were like from heaven, and they only you just have to tell them, and they pick up so quickly. They are so knowledgeable, and their playing is so wonderful, as you hear a sample there. Yeah, So I sing with the music tracks. I own the music tracks, and the bhajans belong to the Presbyterian Church, and so I gifted everything to the Presbyterian Church, as I said, in the memory of my mom. Yes. You want to play another one?
We have another one.
Yes, I'll play a piece of this one. This is the performance. Every Sunday I sing in different churches because they have appreciated it so much. The Presbyterian Church, they have embraced it. It's their legacy. And they are very, very grateful that I have done this and that I've revived the bhajans once more. So I'm pretty much very great demand, apart from other singing. I'm very much in demand. So I sing every Sunday. Yes, so that is my mission at present. For the next year or two. It is it is really surprising the journey that I say God has taken me through or on, and the assignment He has given me. So I went to learn the Hindi. I became a Hindu. I studied Hindi poetry, wrote a lot of Hindi compositions, sang film songs, sang all kinds of songs, and learned the music. Little did I know I had to, within the last few years, collect these bhajans, bring them up to standard so it will be palatable, much more palatable for the younger generation, so it can be passed on in the Presbyterian church. And I'm even amazed at my own self that, this is my mission at present, so.
And clearly it's being very well received. I'm
It
seeing a
is.
comment here from Emmanuel Ramkaran. He's saying Mrs. Chedi frequently blesses the hearts of our congregations at our Presbyterian churches. So you're very popular in the church. That's wonderful.
Yes, I am. Yes, my hands are full. We have some foreigners coming from the World Mission, and this week I have 2 performances, Thursday and Friday, one at the Susumachar and one at the Naparima College auditorium. Yeah, it has filled my life. My mission is going on.
Very nice.
Yes, and also, so I have also developed a bhajan choir. The young people love it, and this is really something that pleases me a lot, that the young people are totally appreciating it. And so I have a choir also, a bhajan choir. Yeah, pictures.
Do we have any pieces from that choir?
I don't have pieces as such. I have a few pieces, but they're far and wide.
Okay,
My cell phone is so filled up that I couldn't find them, at a short hour. Yeah, as I was telling Kumarji, I was very sick the last 2 weeks, and I wasn't able to put together everything as I would have had like to. There's a picture of it by you. Okay.
Okay, so there's someone on YouTube who identifies himself or herself by XTC, saying to us that Anne-Marie started composing early on. She sang her original songs and chutney compositions in the 1990s, and she's been composing for over 30 years. Is that correct?
That is my daughter, yes. So
your
that
daughter.
comes from yes, she's Dr. Zita Chedi from University of the West Indies. She's a lecturer in physics department. So she has been on the inside of things, and she always tell me, "Mommy, I don't know how you do it with when I was a graduate teacher at the time, and but taking care of Zita's and her brother. They too went to BDS and learned Hindi and music. And she tells me, I don't know how you do it, Mom, with a career and children, and but as I said, it probably is in the DNA.
Very nice. So any immediate members of your family are continuing?
My both children, they have taken to, already did Hindi and music with Professor Adish. They have become more academic, one in physics and the other one in civil engineering and so on. But my brother, my brother also sings beautifully. I didn't have a clip of him as yet. And so it has, his son, he's carrying it on.
And what is his name and his son's name?
He's Dr. Shazad Sabrati, and he sings bhajans, he sings film songs, mainly Kumar Sanu, and he also comes to the church and do some English hymns also.
Okay,
Really.
that's your nephew or your brother?
My brother and I, we sang all these years together, all the popular Latin and Rafi songs. My brother was, you have a picture of him? My brother, he was one of the founding member of the Gayatones Orchestra until his death 2 years ago. And before he died, we had also recorded some duets that we did as children, singing, but I didn't get a time to put all that together. Yes.
What is his name? What was his name? Sorry.
He's Steve Hassan Ali Subrati.
Steve,
And
okay.
yes, gifted singer also. He's definitely, yes. So his son is carrying on now with that tradition.
Wonderful.
So his son is the 5th generation now.
Wonderful.
Yes,
So
my
when
granddaughter now, that's my son, daughter. She is into Bharatanatyam dancing with the Mahatma Gandhi Institute. Yes. So you see, it's changing.
Yeah, but it's wonderful that the grand are continuing. The
Yes, that's
grandchildren.
important. That's
Yes.
important.
Yes,
Yes.
so we will continue to highlight the work of the families in Indian culture. And I want to thank you very, very much for what you are doing. And I'm very inspired by the fact that you've chosen to have a choir to do
Yes.
this. This is lovely.
That is the way it will be perpetuated.
Yes, yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Wonderful having you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring another person from Trinidad and Tobago, and this is Shakuntala Jung Bahadur. Her paternal grandparents, her Aja and Aji, sang bhajans inspired by the Ramayan and Mahabharata epics. Her Aji also performed a variety of folk songs, including Sohars, Chaiti, and Biraha. Incidentally, she, as well as her brothers, are well-known singers, and I'm sure Miss Chedi, as well as Devani, would be very familiar with them, and perhaps even Carolyn. Unfortunately, she was unable to get onto the program because of some technical difficulties. But we wanted to share with you the pieces that she has submitted to us so that you get some idea as to what Trinidadians are doing in terms of Indian culture. Daryl, can we have that, please?
Yes, it's one piece.
विमुख शिखर से धारा धाये राधा हरि सन्मुख आए बांसुरिया सावरिया लग जा गले के फिर ये हंसी रात हो ना हो शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो ना हो लग जा गले ये फिर ये हंसी रात हो ना हो शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो ना हो लग जा गले से हमको मिली है आज ये घड़ियां नसीब से जी भर के देख लीजिए हमको करीब से फिर आपके नसीब में ये बात हो ना हो शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो ना हो लग जा गले से
Oh, we should have continued with that one. Thank you. I wish she was here so we could have a word or two with her. Absolutely beautiful voice. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, she's not. And so we can't chat with her or get any information at this time about her family. But I welcome you to bring your comments or your questions. We have with us still Anne-Marie Chedi, Divani Devi, as well as Carolyn Govinda. And so if you have any special requests, perhaps we can ask at this point in time. Your hand if you would like to say something. Yes, Vinod, she has an absolutely beautiful voice.
Perhaps Dr. Kogi can, in 1 minute or two, invite those to South Africa, especially Carolyn and all the Govinda clan, a big family, and invite him to perform.
Kogi, you want to turn on your video as well?
I think Carol will have to give her permission to turn on the video. Maybe
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we're hearing you.
Okay. Like to see me as well? Can you see
Yes,
me?
that would be quite nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carol, can you turn her make her video?
Good evening. Whilst we're waiting for that, so just to share with everyone, you know, we are full steam ahead now with preparations for the tour taking place this year in August. For regular members, I think you already know the dates. You'll be arriving in South Africa, in KwaZulu-Natal, at the King Shaka International Airport, either on the 1st or the 2nd of August. And then you'll be departing on the 13th or the 14th back to your own countries. We have a 3-day conference planned. It's a very minimal registration fee. And yes, we will have some cultural items. And I have shared my number, and I'm hoping to be in contact with Carolyn Govender and a few other artists, to work out the program, into the cultural program, the singing, the dances, the music, so we can have Indo-African fusion. So, I'm prepared to take any questions, and I can answer your questions now or later via email, WhatsApp. Dr. Kumar and Shalima can share my details, and we can take it from there. Oh, okay. Sorry, my video has been off all this while. All right. So I'm happy. Shalima, do you have any questions? Dr. Kumar, we're waiting for the abstracts. We've sent out the call for papers. The conference team is just waiting and then to start the review processes, and then we'll be on our way towards getting a program in place. So
Yeah.
we're waiting for the international community to send us the abstracts. We have 14 topics, and it ranges across the board. There's so many perspectives, that can be addressed and questioned, and eventually the papers will be submitted towards a conference publication, conference proceeding that will be done by the ICC.
Thank you.
So,
Yes.
So Jay has a question
we had a
for you.
question from someone in England,
Mm-hmm.
and she was, that's Shobi Ali, and she was
Yes.
asking that she is considering submitting an abstract, but does the presentations or the abstracts have to be on South Africa? The theme is on indentureship and its legacies in South Africa, but she doesn't know much, and she hasn't studied much about indentureship and its legacies in South Africa. So,
Okay, so Ms. Shobi can contact me. We can discuss her thoughts, what she'd like to present on, and then we can create sort of abstract for her, and then she can submit it to our team. Because we're encouraging everyone throughout the world, throughout the Indian diaspora, to partake in this. Some of us may know that it is the 165th anniversary, that commemorates the arrival of indentured Indian laborers to South Africa, to the colony of Natal. And a lot has happened in these last 165 years. But, but we are based in KwaZulu-Natal, and it's more especially in Durban, which is, one of the major cities in South Africa, but we are part of Africa. So, it does lend itself to questions in fact, two questions are directly related to Africa within the 14 sub themes. So perhaps within those aspects, Shobi may be able to then present an abstract and then eventually present a paper. So I'd encourage her to start with it and to submit it to us, and then we will take it from there.
Very good. Thank you, Kogi. Jay?
Am I unmuted? Hi,
And
Kogi.
Shalim, hi Jay, and Shalim, also to mention that we have secured a hotel, which is we're going to be forwarding all the details to you, to then submit to all those that are interested, and we've got some very good rates. So basically, at this stage, it's just for our colleagues to book their flights, because we've already got the hotel sorted out, and it's within walking distance to our conference venue. And once the conference is over, even for our tours, it's very, very, it's situated in a really good environment. And I think people will really enjoy themselves. And we've got a good rate with the hotel. And we will, during the course of this week, we will submit details on that.
Very good. Thanks. I looked at the itinerary and I needed to reply to you.
Yes.
To minor adjustments before we go further, but I'll send you a message as we wrap up. Yeah?
No, perfect. And we're also working on a logistics document. So therefore, we need to insert the itinerary. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure. Jay's still waiting his turn to say something. I don't know what's going on. Come on, Jay.
No, the matter about visas, I spoke to Levan and I sent him some ideas of what should be done. And he and I agreed that each participant is to get a visa or what you call clearance from their local High Commission or Consul General.
Yes. Yeah. So each country will have to look into that because not every country has a visa requirement to South Africa. So you leave it up to the individuals based on where they are coming from.
But with you'll have to think about the Caribbean, which is Trinidad and Tobago. Everybody will look
Correct.
at how CARICOM has an agreement with South Africa.
No, CARICOM as a body does not interfere with that. Each country separately does.
Oh, so you have a consul in your country?
We have high commissions.
Oh, good. That's
Each
it.
country in the Caribbean will have high commissions.
Yeah, and as I
So
said
the
before,
visa arrangements and so on will be made through them if it is required.
right. With us in Canada, whoever is coming, we are allowed 90 days without a visa.
Oh,
And if we're
wonderful.
exceeding 90 days, then we have to get a visa, and there's a lot of questions to be answered.
Yeah.
And Shalima, before I say good night, so I just wanted to inform everyone that we are having a musical, which is going to be held at the Suncoast Theatre, and it's going to be held on the 16th of May. It's a fundraiser that's going to assist us with whatever we need to pay for our tour and conference. So I'm hoping Carolyn and others will be able to attend this this fundraiser on the 16th of May, which will be held in Durban.
Can you tell them the time and where they can get tickets and so on?
Yes. Okay, they can contact me for tickets because we've been given the tickets, and then we'll provide the banking details. The show starts at 7:00, but doors open at 5:30, and it's bring your own. So it's going to be a fun evening.
Very nice.
And it's a 90s themed performance. 90s mania, that's what it's called. It's going to be held at the Suncoast Theatre of Entertainment. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
A pleasure.
So,
Good
ladies and
night.
gentlemen, it is 5 and Kogi's ready. I mean, it's night where she is, so we need to wrap up and let her get some rest so that she could continue with all the good work that she's been doing and planning and so on. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much to our presenters today. I wish we had more time to hear them sing. I would have loved just, a whole hour just singing. The music was so wonderful. We have absolute talent, and I'm so very pleased that this is happening within families. It's what we want to preserve. And I thank you all very much for doing that. So let me turn you all over now to my family member. Here's my sister, Shakira.
Thank you, Anne. As we've said earlier, this public meeting is being hosted by the Indo-Caribbean Cultural Center, and today we are pleased to be partly supported by the Sport and Culture Fund in the Office of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So our topic next Sunday will be Balgobin, the Balgobin, whoever that is, and other Indo-Guyanese folklore figures. So that one's going to be fantastic. So please visit, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see all our past recordings. I am Shakira Mohammed of Trinidad and Tobago saying goodbye. May God bless you all. Dhanyavad.